Hello and welcome to CNE. We are back again for the review of day two. We had the review of day one yesterday, and today has been a great day. It has been a great contest between the bat and ball. So I am joined by Agni Brahmachari again and Vedant Sharan coming back after 2 days. So where have you been, Vedant?
Nothing. I was just researching about our future videos, which we will release sometime later after the test matches. After the
Yeah,
test
you
match.
need to, you guys need to stay tuned for that. After the test match, we have a lot of content coming forward, and I hope that you guys will like it. It's a different kind of approach we are having, but till now we're focusing on this test match, and as taking away from Proneet, I feel like it's quite an interesting day we have had.
Yeah, it has been a great day. For if I consider Indian cricket, then it has not been such a good day. But overall, the contest between bat and ball has been excellent. I think you should introduce the audience to our new segment, the session by session division
Yeah,
panel.
yeah. So there's this new segment I have made up in my presentation, which is the session by session segment and what has happened in the last 2 days and what has happened today as well. We'll talk about today. It has been completely England's day. I mean, 10 wickets have fallen today and all at very dramatic phases. And yeah, a lot of things have happened. And especially when we are talking about the Indian batting point of view. What happened? It's 359 for three, and suddenly you're 471 all out. You're staring at the screen saying, "Oh my God, what we have done." So it's an interesting wicket actually, because when there is some clouds, when you just put some clouds in English wickets, it just turns into a bowling paradise. And it's interesting how England conditions work that way, but it has been like that. When there's sunshine, it's a complete batting paradise. But when there's some drizzle, there's some overcast conditions, it's completely a bowler's day. And it has been like that. It has been majorly a bowler's day with some batting as well towards the last session. We'll go towards that as the match advantage actually stays even at the moment, because day one had been taken by India and England have taken day two. They have miraculously come back. And after the battering they got in the first day, I felt like they bowled quite well. They have bowled good length, they bowled good lengths, and especially getting the batsmen into some kind of pressure and making them play false shots. I think it has been quite a commendable comeback from England. I talked about yesterday saying how will they ever come back from this scenario after getting belted for day one? But they have clearly shown that they are a side to beat and they are not going to go down without a fight. And boy, they have fought today. And in the sessions, you can see majority of the moments have been won by England, except for the first hour where India have perhaps won it, where Pant and Gill were batting. So yes, very interesting day that has happened and has panned out. A lot of drama that has happened in the course of the day. So we'll go to the batting innings actually. India folded for 471 after a blitzing 100 of Pant. Tell me, who is a guy who is a guy who'll stand on 99 and say that I'm going to hit this person for six. I'm chakka on this and get his 100 in a style. It's impressive, no, Proneet? Proneet, I'll go to Vedant. Vedant has been quiet.
No, I agree with that. And had he gotten out on 99, we would have been here criticizing him and asking him to be responsible. So that's
Yeah,
that.
maybe
But that's
Gavaskar.
Rishabh Pant, so it's
Uh, maybe
very natural
Gavaskar,
of him.
Gavas, maybe Gavaskar
And
would have
nothing
come back and said stupid, stupid, and stupid yet again. But
and
yeah, I mean,
nothing. हाँ बोलो बोलो.
yeah, as I was saying, I mean, Pant has a gutsy thought process, and he has gone about it like that again today, and he has got India to a pretty good total. Otherwise, not considering the lower middle order collapse, it's been a pretty good innings. Otherwise, what don't you think?
Yeah, sorry. मेरे को कुछ बोला?
Yeah, as I was saying, as I was saying, it's been a pretty good innings for India. Otherwise, other than the lower order collapse, I feel like India batted quite well, and the application was there, right?
Yeah, yeah. Indian batting, the top order was excellent. Jaiswal, Rahul, Gill, everybody showed up. But Sudarshan and Karun Nair were a bit disappointing. But I would not blame them
Yeah.
right now because the game is left, the series is left. There's a lot of time. But the way Gill showed up in his first match as captain, answering all the critics, it was really commendable. On the other hand, if we see today, after Gill and Pant got dismissed in a very odd fashion. When the clouds came up, suddenly Josh Tongue became like prime Dale Steyn or something. So that angle of Josh Tongue was problematic for Rishabh Pant. Then suddenly a ball came in which was supposed to go straight, so that
Yeah,
caught him off guard. So
and
that's
yeah,
when
they
the collapse
completely
started.
gobbled up. And that's how they gobbled up the complete middle order and the tail enders. But the one person they couldn't get out at all is our DSP, Vivian Richards, Mohammad Siraj, who has played 7 balls and has stayed on strike, saying, "I'm not going to get out now. I'm going to stay here and I'm going to have my average stacked up." And he did that. But other than that, I feel like Ben Stokes and Josh Tongue have quite done quite well. I would like Vedant to talk about how Ben Stokes has bowled and how he has been the best bowler for England.
Ben Stokes, I mean, it was quite surprising to see that he was the pick of the bowlers, and he has done really, really well. And in fact, when there was no purchase in the wicket, he was still getting the ball to do something, which,
Mhm.
and also he was bowling at 135, 136, which is also a good pace coming, knowing that he's coming back from, he has had injury issues over the years. So that was very good. I was surprised to see the way Stokes bowled and bit disappointed by Wokes. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, especially when how Vokes performed. I feel like Vokes has been a big letdown in the first innings, especially the swing he has, and especially the kind of talent he has for reverse swing. It feels like that Vokes have has underperformed, but well, the captain stood up, and captains have that kind of job to stay up in the match when a lot of people are not doing well, and Ben Stokes has done exactly that. Adding to Vedant's point, I feel like Ben Stokes has been quite consistent with his length, unlike a lot of bowlers of England who have not been like that for the entirety of the match, like Braden Cars, Chris Wokes himself, and for sometimes Shoaib Bashir. But today, I feel like Josh Tongue, Shoaib Bashir, and both Ben Stokes have come in form and especially has taken on India. And India are now standing at 471, yes, but it feels like they could have added a lot more than what they could have done, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I was saying that uh, today, in the first spell that Chris Wokes and Bryden Cars bowled, they kept their lengths more fuller towards the wicket, as in the Headingley pitch, compared to other four grounds pitches. The further test matches will be played. So in Headingley, you need to bowl more fuller to reach the wickets compared to other grounds. Uh,
Mhm.
if you talk about Lords, you need to bowl the most back of length balls to get a proper view of the wickets, to get proper
Mhm.
plumb LBWs and all.
They're talking about the slope, the slope they have, but
Yeah,
we'll
exactly.
talk about this in
The
another time.
slope there. That's what makes the difference at Lords. And in Headingley, it's perfect. When it's completely flat. The surface, I would say,
Uh,
and the pitch. I think the pitch makes a difference when there's broad daylight, and then when there are clouds. I think
yeah,
that's where the English bowling came attacking us in the second
yeah,
session. So
yeah,
that's
and
where the collapse happened.
yeah. And when talking about English bowling, we'll shift to the Indian bowling where England's batting is to be concerned. I felt like England has batted quite well in the second innings to have a response, especially led by Ollie Pope, who has scored a remarkable 100, saying why he should be in the team rather than Jacob Bethel. So it's an amazing innings. He's still unbeaten. Ben Duckett has been aggressive as usual, and yeah, I mean, what do you have to say about Jasprit Bumrah? Do you feel for him, Vedant? How he gets all wickets?
I mean, there's nothing actually to say about him. He's just whatever the condition of the pitch be like, he's always picking wickets. So there's nothing. He's just one of a
Yeah,
generational bowler. That's what I have
but
to add.
being a
Nothing else. He's
generational
just
but being a generational bowler, Vedant, you feel for him seeing that the other bowlers are not contributing or he's not helping actually, if not as good as him.
but that is obviously true. We have seen with that Siraj and Prasidh Krishna have not stepped up to the mark. However, I think maybe they require more time to come into their own. So that could be. And
Are you
we
surprised by
need
the
to
choice
give
of
them more
Prasidh
time,
Krishna?
although it is affecting India, but maybe a bit more time to get them acclimatized to their role because it is new for them.
Yeah, and especially, do you feel like you're surprised by how Prasidh Krishna has been taken ahead of Arshdeep Singh for playing the test match?
I am. Wanted Arshdeep Singh's inclusion, but the management felt maybe Prasidh Krishna could be a better choice given the conditions. I personally don't agree, but and he has underperformed this time. But hopefully, day three he comes on. He comes good and picks up some wickets. Hopefully.
Yeah, and for Proneet, I feel like Mohammad Siraj has had his good moments and has had his bad moments. But do you feel like India is lacking a proper pace battery where you feel like there could be some more wickets on offer rather than just Bumrah coming in and answering all the calls of Shubman Gill and saying, "I'm going to take a wicket now." So what do you think?
Yes, the pace battery has deteriorated since the time of Virat Kohli. Once we used
Hmm.
to have Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Ishant Sharma, Umesh Yadav, Mohammad Shami, and Jasprit Bumrah. Jasprit Bumrah was the fifth bowler in our lineup. So I
Hmm.
think the level has come down a bit, but don't underestimate Siraj and Krishna because Mohammad Siraj, we know his strength is that ball, outswinger balls, and then sudden one or two wobble seamed in swingers coming in. But I feel he did not go to his strengths today. But when he did pretty well. We saw that spell that Bumrah and Siraj had against Joe Root and
Yeah.
Ollie Pope. So that was a
And
really good
especially
spell.
Joe Root was uncomfortable against Siraj when he had a
Yes.
lot of inside edges and a lot of beaten deliveries where he felt reaching for the ball. And Joe Root especially had uncomfortable feeling and uncomfortable feeling of batting. And especially we all knew when he
At least he's
came to bat
gone.
that he will not. Yeah, at least he's gone. And what we all knew from the start that it felt like Joe Root will not go for a lot of runs. It felt like India have done their research on him.
I
But
have
India,
another
what?
point. I have another
Hmm.
point that I think the point that Vedant said that Prasidh Krishna, the management felt that he was a better choice. I think management made a mistake that they thought that it was going to be bright sunny day. So I think the clouds came up. The clouds
Yeah.
came up suddenly. So that's where I think Arshdeep Singh would have had the edge over Prasidh Krishna if the conditions were like this and known to the management. So that's
and
the
especially
difference.
when and especially when Prasidh Krishna Stafford hit the deck bowler, I personally feel like it doesn't really fit well for the English conditions. Maybe it would do for Australia, and he has not played enough matches in Australia for us to know that if he has done well.
Yeah.
Uh,
Also,
but
Vedant had pretty good points over the performance of Bashir and Jadeja today. He was
yeah,
talking about the
Vedant, can
purchase
you
of the
take
pitch before.
yeah, can you take it away for us, Vedant, about how Bashir has
About
performed today? About Bashir,
but
Shoaib Bashir.
I think what Bashir, although the scorecard says that Bashir has 1 for 100, however, uh, he has bowled much better than what it actually shows on the scorecard because of the control with which he bowled with Ben Stokes, which ultimately created the pressure for Gill's wicket to fall. So
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
was, yep.
And especially when Gill miscued it towards Dave Square, like it felt like it's triggered a collapse right there, where Ben Stokes started to take wickets, and then Josh Tongue came in and took the wickets. So I think India lacked that kind of pressure as well from the other end. But one person who has actually kept pressure, and I predicted that he will keep a pressure later on in the match, is Ravindra Jadeja. He has gotten some turn. What do you think? Will it be a feisty customer tomorrow? What do you think? It's a really interesting phase where he is starting to get some turn. Like I saw a delivery where he completely beat Ollie Pope like it was an Indian wicket. So will he be a feisty customer even in the fourth innings when India come to bowl when England have to chase?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, Jadeja will be a important aspect for India in the day tomorrow. So I think even moving forward, the pitch, I think as you predicted before, that Headingley pitch is a good pitch as the day moves on, as we go towards the fourth, fifth day, it becomes a good pitch for batting. But I think this time the conditions are favoring the bowlers. So I think the bowlers will have an edge, and if India scores well and keeps England down, so in the batting, so in the fourth innings, India might defend the target.
Yeah, and especially we have seen the history of Headingley as a complete ground. Fourth inning stages have not been as tough. The 350 scores have been chased, sorry. And suppose 400 totals are also being chased down quite easily. It's very important for, I think, as an Indian point of view, for India to control the English innings right now, because England cannot get away with the partnership they're having with Pope, and especially the last over dramatics by Jasprit Bumrah, where he bowled three no balls. Is no ball really something that we have to get used to? What is the problem? Why do you think like the bowlers bowl so many no balls nowadays? Because in the WTC final, we have seen South Africa in one innings bowled 26 no balls, and now Jasprit Bumrah has bowled three and over. Do you feel like is it a necessary evil, or is some kind of problem, there's some kind of problem there for international bowlers without?
I think it is because they don't practice that how the footing goes while they are bowling in the nets, which is
Hmm.
why if we look at a lot of practice sessions, then we'll see that a lot of times while practice and or while net session the bowlers are overstepping the line. So
Mhm.
that is what is happening in the matches. So the bowlers need to be more careful over that. And then
Yeah,
the
and
balls will reduce.
yeah, and especially the extras, and especially that cost Harry Brooks' wicket. Do you feel like Prony, like, does Jasprit Bumrah have a problem right now as well about no balls? And especially, can India afford such kind of a no ball to get Harry Brook out? I mean, it's such a big wicket in the context of the game where Harry Brook can literally turn innings on his head, and he was yet to play India on tests, and now he's just been served a free life. You feel like will Harry play a very big part on how England play out?
I mean, Harry Brook is the number two test batsman currently in ICC rankings, so he's
Hmm.
definitely a threat. But this is also this is the first time he's facing Jasprit Bumrah in test. Before that, he has
Yeah.
faced him in white ball, but in tests,
Hmm.
this is the first time. So
Yeah.
Jasprit Bumrah in that last over, when those three no balls, that also one of them was a wicket of Harry Brook, costed a wicket of Harry Brook on a duck. So that would have been a big wicket. Also the session would have been a shared one instead of England winning the session. So
Yeah.
I feel
And
Bumrah had some problems with no ball in the start of his career. The Champions Trophy final, for instance,
mhm.
the wicket of Fakhar Zaman. So
Oh, that's a memory people would not want to have,
yeah,
especially
real.
when.
But I just remember that spell of Bumrah, that over rather, a 12 ball over
Hmm.
against Jimmy Anderson in 2021 at
Ah,
Lords. So that is something that
sorry.
makes me think that Jasprit Bumrah does it intentionally just to make the batsman stay there for more time and just to
Uh,
get his wicket with a legal delivery later like
I
that.
feel like that's a very outrageous claim you have, Proneet. It's to think like people go novels for actually for intentional purposes. I feel like it doesn't really play. It doesn't fit well for the game really when, because especially when Kohli on his one of his interviews said that we don't like bowling no ball. So we don't like it if a player bowls a no ball, and especially if there's a wicket on it. It's Do you feel like it's? I mean, you feel like no balls should really be having no penalties. I mean, except that one extra run in test. Do you feel like no balls should also have a free hit on test, aiding the batters a bit for bowlers to get more discipline? Do you feel like that, Vedant and Proneet? What are the thoughts?
I would like Vedant to comment on that because I have given my point of view.
No, no balls are not acceptable thing in my opinion. As simple as that. There is no excuse to bullying that.
Yeah,
Uh,
but do you feel like there should be an increased penalty for no balls bowled, especially in Test cricket where a lot of no balls are
penalty
bowled?
as in, I mean, today the fact that we didn't get Brooks' wicket
Yeah,
was
I
a
mean,
enough penalty. What?
enough penalty. It was penalty enough, but do you feel like for bowlers to pay heat to no balls, do you feel like there should be more penalty in the sense of suppose more extras or maybe a free hit being introduced in Test cricket? Do you feel like should
Free
that
hit,
be
if
a?
I'm not wrong, Test cricket had free hit before.
Yeah? So
Maybe
if you
they didn't have.
yeah, do you feel
Much
like
before.
it should be reintroduced again? Do you feel feel
No, I
like that?
don't think so. No, in Test cricket, if a bowler oversteps, no, I think I'm fine with what is happening now. Only the bowlers need to control themselves, because then if you get like what happened today, If
Hmm.
Brook goes on to score big, it will hurt England. It will hurt India very much.
Yeah. Well, that the discussion ends on day two. We'll have a lot of prospect of day three, where it's known as the moving day,
Oh,
and
oh, don't
India
end it.
need
Don't
to.
end it before talking about your predictions from our preview. The matchups,
Oh yeah,
Root versus
yeah,
Bumrah
especially,
and
huh,
Pope
yeah,
versus Penn.
especially if you guys haven't checked out the matchup, the preview of our video, I have predicted that Pope versus Spin will be a big thing, and it was actually when during the course of the day you saw Jadeja getting the better of Pope, and Pope was looking very uncomfortable against him, and it wasn't being able to put him out for boundaries, and especially Root versus Bumrah, the biggest matchup. Bumrah got him for the 10th time in Test cricket, and it feels like this will carry on. We'll see some more numbers in that tally, and especially when Bumrah is there for majority of the test matches, you feel like Root will not be in comfortable grounds. Bumrah has gotten the better of him most of the times, and yeah, I mean the research has been perfect. It's been quite good to see that India have been focusing on matchups, because it has been working out for them, and especially Jadeja should bowl a lot more. I think he should bowl at the start of the day tomorrow towards Pope, so because Pope early on in his innings gets trapped between his pads. So it's important for Jadeja to open the bowling tomorrow and get some advantage on Pope, who is now not set, because it's a fresh day, it's a fresh start. So yeah, going on to day three, England are trailing by 262 runs. It's an even test going on, with one day won by India and the other won by England. The pitch is still pretty flat, but we would expect the pitch to go a bit towards the spin kind of surface, because it's quite dry at the moment, except the few spells of rain. It's pretty dry, and when there's sunshine, it's very easy for the bowler to get for the bat to get on the ball. So it's very important that Jadeja gets a lot more of bowling, and England gets restricted. If England don't, England can go on to get a big total, which can uncomfort India, because fourth innings chases have not been as tough, and especially on wickets like these, you want to set a very big target for England. So India need to bat also very well again in the third innings and post a big total. So yeah, a lot of things lot of things on prospect. And as always, we'll be back again tomorrow talking about the test match and what happened on the moving day. So stay tuned for that. For till then, it's good night. It's a very early morning right now, but it's good night from us, and a good night from Vedant
Good
and
night.
Proneet as well. Good night to you guys as well.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.